be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Serving my country required sacrifice that changed my life forever. I remember the day I came home. Because of my injuries, this house wasn't right for me anymore. I remember the narrow doorways, the small bathrooms, the shelves out of reach when in my wheelchair. Every day was full of obstacles. I felt trapped. I remember a better day. The day my family received a specially adapted custom home from Homes for Our Troops. That day changed everything. Now we have a safe and accessible home to enjoy the freedom I fought for. This place, our home, is exactly what we needed to rebuild our lives.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Go home for Super Bowl 58. WGSX WPLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! Gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub and hot tub! Rubber dub and me! Stuck in the hot tub!
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah!
Stuck in the hot tub!
Oh, yeah!
Will it make me wet? Yeah!
Well. Greatest skit Saturday Night Live history. And good morning on an absolutely gorgeous Monday here in Paradise. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the living legend, with us right here this morning. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning, Coach.
And we got the Wildcat himself, John Smitty III, is behind the bottle. I mean, behind the glass.
The bottle.
The glass in there.
It's too early in the morning for that.
I'm hurting today. I told him, Doc, weighed this morning 7 pounds over.
Man.
It all started on a Thursday when Tommy brought a box of Krispy Kreme hot donuts in.
And you sat in that hot tub.
Too
and
long.
You ate those donuts.
It made me wet, and it made me sweat. There's no doubt.
But it didn't make you lose 7 pounds.
I tell you what, that's it. I'm getting back. I'm going to lose it. I can't. I feel it. My brother was here visiting, and I think we hit every restaurant we could go to on the beach. It was crazy. I don't know if you have heard this lately or not. Oh, hey, are you getting pumped up about the Super Bowl?
Not really.
I know. Now, I got a question. How many national anthems do we have?
One, as far as I know.
I thought we just had one.
I know scholar, but one.
Somebody said we had a black one, a white one. We just have one. We don't have but one. And they're supposed to play the black national. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that was.
Well, I looked it up. Read the words to it. Just read the words to it and see what you think.
I ain't getting that.
No.
There's one national anthem.
There's a song, and I forget what it's... No, I agree with you. There's one national anthem, but this song, it's not a racial song. It's not a hate song. I looked it up because I wanted to know.
Can I make up one and be...
No, but just look the song up. Just look it up yourself. I did.
Okay, well,
I read the words.
Are you woke?
No, I'm not woke. I'm not woke, but I just want to put it out there. Read the song. When I read the song, I read it. I didn't hear it. I read it. It talks about, struggle And
well, that's good. That's
and
great.
God,
but that's not a national anthem.
I know, but I'm not saying it's a national anthem by any means.
United States.
But what's the purpose? I mean, what's the purpose?
I don't know, but I'm just saying. I think a lot's been made out of that. It's a good song. Just read the words for yourself. Just do it. Just do it.
I'm not saying it's not a good song. Elvis has got a lot of good songs.
Do I disagree that should be the national anthem? Yes, but I still think it's a
good song.
A good song.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
All right, yeah. But there are a lot of people that haven't looked it up, haven't read it, and I get that. There's one part of our country that wants to raise this to the level of another national anthem. I get all that. It's not the national anthem.
Well, see, I didn't know they wanted.
But read the song.
I didn't know everybody wanted another.
Pull the song up and read the song.
The problem with that whole thing is when do you use the one and when do you use the other?
Well, I think for our national anthem, I think we have one of those. If they want to play this other song,
name us something else besides the national anthem.
The song is actually not named that, believe it or not.
Okay. Right.
So look it up.
I learned something different today.
Exactly.
I heard something totally different.
Well, I decided, what's all the fuss about this? And so I looked it up and I read I forget the name of the song. I can look it up here in a little bit, but there are lyrics to it. You read the lyrics and I'm going, what's wrong with this? It's got God and man struggling and like, okay.
Did they open up with
as a human, I can identify with
Did they open up the music awards Sunday with it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert on the song, but I'm just saying I actually looked it up. Because there's a lot of times there's a lot of hype and fuss made about things.
Who was the guest singer this weekend? Usher? Is it John? Is it Usher? Hello? Is it Usher? You see what he's doing?
Yeah,
he's answering the phone.
No respect.
I'm over here trying to make you look good. So.
I think it's Usher, right? Usher's going to perform at half. I like him. I think
that's
he's
an impossible task, trying to make you look good.
Thank you, Dr. Chad Mitchell.
Julie has given more effort than anyone on that one.
Now, you know who Usher is, right?
Yeah,
I like his songs. Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool. What are you doing? You gotta go potty?
John has left the building.
John Elvis has left the building. Anyway, can you believe there can be like 100 million people watching the Super Bowl, like every year, over 100 million?
Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, but
everybody tunes in. I don't know how many people watch it the entire game. I'll watch it because it's the last football game of the year. Plus, I'm kind of curious to see who's going to win that football game. I think the 49ers are favored by 1.5 points. And you can bet on the flip of the coin. You can bet on which way they've got everything in the world you ever thought about betting, you can bet.
Listen, I love sports. That's why I'm on this show. And I'm not knocking sports. It's great. But it's not the end-all, be-all in life. It's not. It's fun to play. It's a lot.
What? What are you saying?
It's a lot.
We're talking about football.
So, is football more important than Lorelei?
No.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Lorelei and Leighton are the most important thing in the world. You know that.
I'm just giving you.
But they're up there. Don't mention any other names. I'll get in trouble. Lorelei and Leighton, nothing like that. Don't mention the rest of them.
That was good. But you get what I'm saying. That's why, okay, I'll watch the Super Bowl, but am I just can't wait every second to no. I got other things to do.
Yeah. Well, if the Steelers were playing, I'd be really excited. But I still am. I want to see how the Chiefs quarterback performs. I love the running back from the 49ers. Ryan Moe is a big 49er guy. So, but I'm not really too crazy either way. I hate, probably the Chiefs because different state than California. I really don't like the state of California, even though the state is gorgeous.
The state is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there's a lot of great people live there, too. So we just say a lot of things just to be saying them sometimes. All right, SEC Big Ten advisory group. They're going to have an advisory group. Can you imagine the NCAA and that right now what they're thinking? These two guys are going to get together, talk about the problems that are going on in the SEC. I mean, college football and college athletics, really, And I really believe we are headed towards, I think everybody will tell you the exact same thing, we're headed towards the super conference. And everybody said it's going to be the SEC and Big Ten are going to determine what happens throughout college football. And I think they'll follow what they do in the NFL. I really do. But I'm glad they're breaking away. They go after Tennessee. They go after Florida State and then they turn their back on everything else. It's just crazy. There's no rules. There's no consistency. So I like the idea that the Big Ten, SEC are going to start this advisory group, and let's see where it leads. And I think we all really kind of believe it's going to, down the road, it's going to be one super league, and that's going to be the Big Ten, SEC. It might not be the exact same teams that are in there now. They might be some added, some taken away. I don't know. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years. The SEC and Big Ten, both the most powerful conference in college athletics. The media rights to cover those two conferences is unbelievable. Twice as much as the other ones, the ACC, Big 12. And down the road, we all know that the sharing of TV revenue probably is going to happen, in some way, some form. And what's going to happen then, do the minor sports completely go away? How are they going to be funded? I'm talking about cross-country, track, swimming, all those things that don't generate a lot of money. What's going to happen to those if all the TV revenue sharing is going to be split up and gone to the players? So it's going to be interesting how they work all these things out. I don't know. I don't think the players are going to make the big kind of sharing like the NFL players get. I could be wrong. We don't know. We just don't know. But I was listening to somebody talk about it the other day. If your athletic department's not bringing in at least $100 million, you will not be part of the Super League. Yeah. And there's probably about 50, 60 schools that generate over $100 million.
So should
Central Florida's not one of them.
Well, is Vanderbilt celebrating?
Oh, yeah. Vanderbilt's in great shape. They make big money. They're fine.
That's what I'm getting at, is Vanderbilt.
They're in the SEC.
I get it.
Your Central Florida team will probably be left out.
Yeah.
Cincinnati could be left out.
Yeah.
You know that Utah is like 112. I think it was 112 million. And I thought it'd be more than that. In Mississippi State, they were a little bit ahead of Mississippi State, which is, I think, the lowest in the SEC. I think they're like almost 110, $104 million. And that's the worst in the SEC. So Vandy makes more money than they do. But what do you think? I mean, I'm okay. I'm actually for it. Let's have different divisions, have different national champs. Let the Big 12 ACC play for B, and 1A is.
So you're saying
1A is a Super League.
So you're saying teams like BYU will never be able to win the national championship?
They're in Big 12.
I know.
Yes, they'll be able to win a national championship.
Yeah.
But it won't be the Super Conference. It'll be like I call it high school football. You got 1A to up to 7A or 8A, whatever they're up to now. It'd be the same thing in college football.
So they're still going to include the other conferences?
Yeah, they're not going to be under the same rules. They're not going to be. They can't compete. That's the reason Florida State's trying so hard to get out of there. When Florida makes twice as much money as they do, it's kind of hard to do it.
Yeah.
North Carolina, Virginia are going to be two schools that everybody's going to want because it's two new states. And honestly, just me, in my opinion, they're more valuable than anybody else because you get a brand new state in the SEC or the Big Ten. I think that both leagues are going to go after North Carolina. I think both will go after Virginia. What's the magic number? Are they going to have 50 teams, 60 teams, 70 teams? I don't know. I would like to see Florida State in the SEC.
I do too. I want them in the SEC.
But do we really and truly need Clemson? They are a powerhouse football
program. Do they bring in over 100 million?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, why bring Virginia in if you're not going to bring Clemson in?
Well,
I'm just making
how are they going to make the numbers work is what I'm looking at. It's going to be, I guess it'll be, I don't know. Even I think we'll keep our name: SEC, East Division champions, West Division, North, South, East, West champions.
When is this advisory group meeting?
I'm not sure. I didn't write all that down. I just know that it was just a big deal that they are going to start this. I don't know. Maybe they have announced when it's going to start. I didn't write it down, but commissioner of the SEC. Made it clear that this is not a breakaway threat or breakaway right now. We're just coming get together and talk about issues that are going on in college athletics right now. But to me, it is. Like, yeah, we're getting ready to, down the road, I think it's going to happen.
I mean, do you think, obviously we've criticized the NCAA multiple times because they're just so wishy-washy about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you think that's part of the problem?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got a rule, back it, fight it, go with it. They knew that the NIL stuff was coming, and they wasted all that money in lawyers and everything else.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, okay, we're going to pay you $5,000 a year. You know, they could have done something different. What? I don't know. Anyway, we got to take a break. Hey, Chad, there's only one national anthem. All right, let's talk about some of our great people out there. South Oak Title and Closing. There's only one South Oak Title and Closing. That's run by Chuck Tucker. The guy's nothing but a legend around here. Local company, taking care of locals throughout the Northwest Florida. For all your real estate needs, do what Mark Coward does, Beth Movey, South Oak Title and Closing. J. Michael's Restaurant, we had a great time. Friday, took my brother down there, Chad.
Was it good?
Are you focused?
I am.
All right, took my brother down there, Jay Michaels. He met my Carl, buddy of mine. Carl, I think Carl's about, I don't know how old Carl is, but he fought in Vietnam, flew helicopters. My brother did the same thing. So they had a really good, I was just interested in listening to them. They had a great visit down there. The special was a Chris Fish. My brother loved it. If you have never had the Chris Fish at J. Michael's, go check it out. You will love it. This Wednesday, the world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti will be having Wednesday. Lunch and dinner. Go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. Stevenson Air Conditioners, #1 throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Any issues whatsoever, day or night, call Stevenson Air Condition. They're there for you. For you, Wildcat. Also, Charlie Corn's place. Get down there and have a great time, especially on the brand new one on 15th Street. That facility is really beautiful. And they got a big, huge back room, sits up to about 25 people. Charlie Corn's place. Of course, him and Linda, they've had a restaurant since 1986. They know what they're doing. The food's incredible. Vegetables, home cooking, really good. Go check it out. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. We'll be right back with Dr. Chad Mitchell and John Smitty.
The Wildcat, right here on ESPN.
Here's the Red Man. This is the Red Man's national anthem playing right here. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday morning. This morning, light sprinkles and 57 with a light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the north. For the afternoon and evening, some clouds with a moderate breeze and a high near 59. Tomorrow, wind 8 to 12 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 63. For Wednesday, sunshine and a high of 62. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
My name is Linda Cope, founder and president of Warrior Beach Retreat. Line the streets February 22nd to honor the men and women who have served and sacrificed for the freedoms we enjoy. Attend the ceremony, which is free and open to the public, February 22nd at 7 p.m. at First Baptist Church of Panama City. Colonel Alan West will be the speaker. Information for the parade route and ceremony are on our website, warriorbeachretreat.org. Never forget, freedom isn't free. We saw this firsthand after our son, Army retired Sergeant Joshua Cope, lost both legs above the knee and wounded his hands by an IED blast in Baghdad, Iraq. When a soldier goes to war, a family goes to war. We are a local 501c3 charity not affiliated with Wounded Warrior Project. Donations are needed and much appreciated for us to continue the vision to bring hope and healing for the combat wounded warriors and their loved ones. God bless you all, and God bless America.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
I can't. We're back. 104.3. All right, Chad has played me the Black National Anthem song.
Oh, here we go.
And you know what? I get it. I don't have a problem with that. That's pretty good. It's not what I thought.
It's not the national anthem, but I mean, it's not a bad song. I mean, I think people make it out to be something.
So, but I don't think
something
I don't
bad.
think they called it that.
That is not the song.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's not named that. It's not named that.
Yeah,
no.
I know. That's not a problem. Yeah, and we got so what they're doing. I think they're doing both.
They win.
I'm good. Win.
We're having technical difficulties, y'all.
Why are you always up under the table?
Yeah.
You picking up scraps?
They got all
controls from me. You don't think that's what I'm doing.
Anyway.
Oh.
I hadn't heard James Brown yet today. You know, guess what? You know what? Let's talk about that. This is not anything to do with sports, but we were talking about all this stuff. You got talk about what you just told me. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So we ended the last segment. You mentioned something about military, that kind of thing, and it reminded me. This new Apple series called Masters of the Air. It's about the 100th Bomb Group. And I started watching it, and I realized, wait a minute. When I was growing up, we had a family friend that flew in the 100th Bomb Group. And so I looked him up online. It's a guy named Rex Ellis. And sure enough, he flew, I'm dropping stuff. He flew for the 351st Squadron of the 100th Bomb Group, and he was listed as a co-pilot. He was on the plane. I think it's Maggie's Boys, and they flew 18 missions. The last mission they flew, they lost 2 engines and lost control of the plane and had to parachute out over Berlin. They were bombing Berlin. They had dropped their bombs. They had been attacked by 3 German fighters on the way in, but still were able to deliver their bombs, and then lost control of the plane. And I remember him talking about having to get out of the plane. So he's holding the plane together. Everybody's bailing out. Then he gets out, and they're all going out through the bomb bay doors. Well, it's a 2-decker plane.
Right.
The captain and co-pilot are upstairs. You've got to get down and crawl through. So he was the last to leave the plane, but the first to hit the ground, and said he had all these German people charging at him with pitchforks and axes and, all these, farm-type implements. And he had a German soldier step in front of him and fire a shot into the air. Said the German soldier saved his life. He'd have been killed. He said he was totally outnumbered. But he and his whole crew were taken prisoners of war, and I have looked it up recently, but it looks like he was in Stalag 1 prison camp, which is north of Berlin. I think it's sort of northeast, if I remember right. But yeah, so when I was watching the show, Masters of the Air, and it's only got three episodes out so far, the 351st was part of that. Now, the main focus is the 350th. But the 351st is flying with them. The 349th is flying with them. They're all there together. And I was just kind of overwhelmed for a minute. Wait a minute. This is a guy who, as a teenager, he would call me and when I was a teenager, he would call me and my brothers up to come fly in his Cessna with him. My dad used to fly with him all the time. And he let me be co-pilot a couple of times in his little Cessna, 2 brothers in the back, and we're flying. And, I mean, what a great American, what a great individual this guy is.
Did you ever find out how they were treated by the Germans as prisoners?
What do you mean, retreated?
How they were treated.
Oh, how they were treated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he he said it's a prison camp, okay? It wasn't... it wasn't comfortable, and but they were treated way better than the Japanese treated our prisoners of war. Yeah.
Now, or the Vietnamese.
Did he? Was it something that he liked? Was he glad? No, but he did tell me one story, and I still remember it. He said every now and then they would let them out in the prison yard. They'd stretch their legs. Otherwise, they're in these little cramped cells, and it's just minimal conditions. And Anyway, he says they're out in the middle of the yard there, and he says, it's more than just his group. There are other pilots and other soldiers and other people there. And they'd see a dogfight overhead, and this German plane got shot down in the dogfight by an American plane. And he said cheers erupted in the yard, and they were beating them and all, making them go back into their prison cells. He says they didn't hold anything back. He said just because they were prisoners of war, they didn't hold anything back.
They were probably cussing out in their own language.
But he said you could tell as the war progressed that we were winning. And they had an idea that soon they might be released. But he was shot down March 8th, 1944 over Berlin, and spent the rest of the war a little over a year as a prisoner of war.
That's crazy. My wife's dad was a paratrooper, airborne, and he was dragged across Germany in a glider, and then they just crashed the gliders.
Right. That's exactly what they did.
Jump out, we're going to crash it anyway, so you can sit in here.
Yeah.
But he had some crazy stories to tell her. I never got the opportunity to sit down with him and have a beer, but some of the stories he told her about being over in Germany and some of the places it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's terrible that it's war.
The way it's headed, we're going to have stories to tell in the future.
Well, I hope not.
Oh, no. If it's headed the way we think it's headed, there won't be no stories for the future.
Yeah, there won't be any more history. Hey, all time. Let's take a little quiz here.
All right.
I hope Bulldogs listening this morning. All time passing leaders from Georgia. Do you have any idea? This is the top 4. Do you have any idea who they are?
Well,
just for Georgia?
I'm not a Georgia fan, so I haven't kept up with
Eric Zaire, is that his name? I can't read my writing. He came at number 3. He passed for 11,153 yards, and that's just number 3.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe it's Bennett? You think he's in the top 4?
No, he's not.
You don't believe? Do you believe Bennett's in the top 4? Won back-to-back national championships. Stetson Bennett. Do you think he's in the top 4?
You would think he is. I mean, after
that was the question.
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
You think he is?
I do.
Okay. Who's number 1 though? Who do you think it is? Is it David Green?
Give me a multiple.
He played
choice.
back in the early 2000s. David Green was a stud. Was it Aaron Murray?
When did he play?
Or was it Stetson Bennett? Who was it? That's your top 4. Who's number 1? All-time leading passer for the mighty Georgia Bulldogs that are really known in the history of their football league as a power, physical, defensive running team.
Yeah.
But this guy passed for a lot of yards. Who is this guy?
The one you said in 2004.
Okay, that would be David Green.
Yep.
He played from 2001 2004.
Yep.
He passed for 11,528 yards.
11,000 yards.
528 yards. And he is not number 1. He's actually
makes my arm sore just
he's
thinking about
actually
it.
number 2.
Okay.
Who is the number 1 passer in Georgia history? Is it Stetson Bennett, back-to-back national championship walk-on football player? They should make a movie about this man. Or is it Aaron Murray? Come on, guy.
Must be Murray.
I was going to say that because he's trying to throw.
Yeah, good job, Chad.
Trying to throw us off the dog, didn't he?
He is. You can see it.
Chad's smart. Chad's highly intelligent. Yeah, Stetson Bennett actually came in 4th. He won 2 national championships, but he passed for 8,429 yards.
He did a great job.
Nothing but a winner.
Yeah,
nothing
there
but
you
a
go.
Aaron Murray, though, he's the real deal. When he was at Georgia, he passed for 13,166 yards.
Impressive.
Very impressive. That is your Georgia Bulldogs big-time quarterbacks as far as throwing the football. Now, does that mean they're the best quarterbacks Georgia's had? Probably. Probably. I mean, just keeping it real. Probably are. That's for your Georgia Update Day, brought to you by Conrad Moon. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We get back. Chad Mitchell, what is going on at FSU? Then after that, we'll ask him this question. What is going on in Florida? some sports are getting ready to get cranked up. He's going to talk about that. And we got some sports right around here getting ready.
You got a lot of explaining to do, Doc. You got a lot of explaining.
Explaining.
And here's one right now. What's the best way to get up with Chad Mitchell? Someone that's taken care of Bay County athletes for 24 years. This coming up year season will be the 25th. That's special. Chad, what's the best way to get up with you like Tommy did?
Call Orthopedic Associates, 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at chadmitchellmd.com, and you can also look up robotic knee replacements on robotmd.com.
That cost you. All right. Another place we went, my brother took him down. He likes barbecue. Where did we go? We went to Rudy's Barbecue. Him and Julie got ribs. Unreal ribs. I got the turkey sandwich. Great as always. And I got the sausage. Did you realize, I think they had 3 options to get sausage. I just got the regular sausage. They don't have a lot of calories in them. And I tell you what, a lot of protein too. They were outstanding. The food was great. Atmosphere was great. Had a really good time down there at Rudy's Barbecue. They cater. Remember that? They do cater. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road.
And they're open right now for breakfast burritos.
Yeah, that's one
by all means.
Oh, yeah, that's one of Jason Kovaleski's favorite places, Rudy's Barbecue. No doubt about that. Speaking of Jason, 2 great stores, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Go see Jason, 23rd Street, also Pier Park. Go check it out. Try it before you buy it. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Love is in the air at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, and do we have a sweetheart of a deal for you? All diamond heart jewelry is on sale for 25% off. All color gemstone jewelry is 60% off at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We also have a large selection of gold, silver, and estate jewelry that is sure to melt her heart. Folks have trusted us for 50 years to make their Valentine's sparkle. This year, make it sparkle even more with a sweetheart of a deal from Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown. Sports fans, we love our teams, but let's talk real estate for a moment. Meet Berg Title, your trusted local real estate title and escrow company. Based in downtown Panama City, Berg Title knows the community inside out. They handle everything from title searches to escrow services with expertise. Honest, reliable, and here to make your real estate journey smooth. Remember, it's Berg Title. Call them at 850-250-2900. That's Berg Title, your partner for a worry-free real estate experience in Panama City and Panama City Beach.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Florida State Update is brought to you by Newbies. Get Newbies, have a great time. Newbies Two on the Curve, go watch the Super Bowl. The Mothership, go have an outstanding time. The best bands in the Southeast every weekend, brought to you by Charlotte. Love John, love Charlotte, great people. Get out Newbies, support them. Dang, I was going to tell you something we were talking about. I just went on my mind. Anyway. FSU. Oh, yeah. Coach Martin died. You know, he
That's right.
passed away. That was sad. Bless his heart. we were talking about he had worked all those years, retired, and he got had the health issues, and
what a great coach! I mean,
somebody to work
he'll go down as someone, a legend.
And not have the time to go enjoy life. I'm kind of glad Nick Saban. And not really. I wish he was still coaching Alabama, but I'm happy for him. Maybe he can go and live a long time, enjoy and travel and do things.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, really, it's what we all want to do.
At your age, as long as you've worked, I hope you get an opportunity to go travel.
Me too, Coach. I'm taking donations.
Hey, did you hear what he said?
I did what he does to me, John. He does that to me all the time.
All right. Did you hear what he said? He used to be a co-pilot when he was very young, and he loved flying in planes. And that's the reason
I'm not a pilot, though.
That's the reason he has his own private jet. I mean, that you get
here we go anywhere. Here we go.
He gets up to Bama games.
Here we go.
I enjoyed it.
I wish. If I had my own private jet, I wouldn't be here on this radio show.
Oh, yes, you would.
I know. I'd have Coach Hale on my radio show.
Yeah, we'll be flying up in the air doing radio. Yeah.
Via satellite, brought to you live from 32,000 feet, 450 miles an hour.
Just hang with me, John. I'll get there eventually.
Live from J. Michael's jet. Yeah. Anyway, what do you got for us today on FSU?
So, Florida State adds a 4-star edge in Amari Williams to the 2024 recruiting class. Not like they haven't already recruited well here, but anyway, this guy, obviously I mentioned he plays edge. He's 6'4" and 215 pounds.
Is he out of Tampa? Did they say?
North Palm Beach.
Okay, North Palm Beach. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's Benjamin High School. That's what they're saying here. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, good for FSU football. They're on a march. Obviously, if they don't win next year, I don't know what to tell anybody.
They don't make it in the playoffs. We'll tell 12 teams.
A lot of my FSU buddies are saying "Roll Tribe."
Well, they got 6
Alabama
of them.
players that they got.
They're going to be good.
It'll be fun to watch. Anyway. Next up here is basketball, since that's what's going on. Saturday, men's FSU basketball lost to Louisville. I figured I'd hear some calls from
Timeout. Louisville's head football coach, Jeff Fromm, will be on our show at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, wow. How come you don't bring him in on Monday?
Well, I mean, it's hard to have 2 stars.
Oh, listen to this mess.
I mean, if we had him
like
on,
you never bring them in when I'm here.
You spread it out. If you have everybody on one show, there's nothing.
I need some listeners to call in and say how unfair that is that he never brings these.
No. I got a superstar
these famous
on Monday,
people in on Mondays Tuesday, when I'm here.
Yeah. So and then after that, we got Andy Burcham, the voice of Auburn Tigers, like we do every Tuesday at 8:15.
See, I've never met him either.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm always here on.
I'm looking forward to Jeff
on Mondays.
We'll ask him, what do you think about Florida State not getting in? I mean, they beat you and they still did not get in. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, back to men's basketball. FSU men's loses to Louisville. Louisville 101, FSU 92. This happens Saturday. Their next game is against Boston College on the 6th. But to give you some of the team stats, field goal percentage for FSU was 51.6%. Louisville was 54.4%. 3-point percentage, 15.8 for FSU. A whopping 27.3 for Louisville. 18 turnovers for FSU, 16 for Louisville. 34 rebounds for FSU, and Louisville 33, so a little evenly matched on that. Anyway, again, their next game is against Boston College, and that's on the 6th.
You realize that turnovers are the most important thing in football, basketball?
Yeah.
I mean,
any sport, really.
Yeah.
Any sport that has turnovers, you want to have the least of those.
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Now, moving on to the women, they played Sunday. They beat the University of Miami 75-68, and there are cheers everywhere, I'm sure, beating Miami. Their next game is against Pitt, and it's on the 8th. To give you a little bit of the team stats, field goal percentage 43.1% for Miami, 45.6 for FSU. 3-point percentage 33.3 for Miami. 38.5 for FSU. So they were hitting the threes. Turnovers, 14 for Miami, 17 for FSU. And then rebounds goes to FSU with 37. Miami had 33. So, that wraps up, what's going on with the women. Again, their next game is against Pitt on the 8th. The next thing I thought we might consider doing here, since, FSU's in the ACC, remember college baseball starts this month.
Love it.
Starts on the 16th. So for all the college baseball fans out there, if you want to get an idea of when the season's starting, you want to be have
starts on the 16th.
11
days
of February.
away, right?
Yes,
wow.
16th of February. So I pulled the games for the ACC baseball that start on the 16th. And since we're doing FSU, we'll mention them first, since this is the FSU update. They're home against Butler on the 16th. So some of the other teams, you got Virginia at home against Hofstra. You've got Duke away playing Indiana. You've got Louisville away playing Indiana State. You've got Pitt away playing Maine. God. Boston College away playing Ohio State. That'd be kind of a cool game to watch. VCU is away at NC State, who's the home ACC team. Xavier's away playing Clemson at home. And let's see, North Carolina is at home against Wagner. Virginia Tech is away playing Charlotte. Georgia Tech's at home versus Radford. And then I mentioned Florida State. Then Wake Forest is at home against Fordham. Miami's at home against NJIT. And then Notre Dame is away against Rice.
Let me ask you something.
That starts the ACC baseball season, again, February 16th.
You start baseball, and it's still cold. I mean, really cold, especially up north. And by the time they end the season, the heat's unbearable.
Yeah.
And these athletes experience both levels of it.
But there's a transition there in the spring where the weather's great. I mean,
could you imagine
anybody that's played
now?
Baseball knows that there's a part of the season that is just like.
Well, think about it, Chad. If you're playing right now, up north, Maine, go to Maine and playing this way. How do you? Well, imagine your hands.
They're doing
get
conditioning,
hit.
all kind of stuff. Yeah, dreary conditions.
Just catching a baseball with those gloves, a fastball, how it sting. Hitting the ball in that cold weather.
Yeah. And some of them probably have some indoor facilities, but not like the pros.
No, that's awful early, but they have to do it. They got a calendar to go by. They got to do it. That's like football. You play, it's really hot, and then as the fall comes, it starts feeling pretty good, and then at the end of the year, it's cold. It's just vice versa for baseball. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good. What do you think? FSU baseball needs to be 100% better than it was last year.
They definitely need to win more than they did last year. Yeah, I mean, it's been a powerhouse program for decades, and they can't afford to lose like they did last year. And they were young last year, so I mean the expectations high that they're going to be a lot better, and I hope they are.
This 12 team, it is, you know what, I thought it was in stone. It's not. I saw the other day, it's not a definite yet. They think it's going to be, but it's not definitely in writing right now that if you're a champion of the Big 12, that you automatically get a bye. That's not guaranteed. Because let's talk about this. You got the SEC Big 10. They played on a brutal schedule, big time money. So you got a SEC champion with 2 losses. You got a Big Ten champion with 2 losses, which could happen. And then you have an ACC team that goes 9-3. Say NC State surprises everybody. They lose 3 games. Miami upsets Florida State, Clemson, where it winds up that you have a 3-loss ACC champion. And say this is NC State just because they're not a big name like FSU and Clemson. In the Big 12, we have I pick a team, Utah. They're 10-2, and they're in. But you also, in the SEC Big Ten, you have a 11-2 Ohio State. You have a 10-2 Auburn. Who are you going to put in?
Yeah.
Should you give a 9-3 NC State a bye? No, you shouldn't.
Well, I think what we're going to see out of this 12-team playoff is that whoever the top 4 are probably going to win it.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
But it depends.
I mean, I get it.
I don't disagree.
I get it.
I disagree.
There have been some Alabama teams.
Can I say it again? I disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. There have been some Alabama teams I've followed that were 10-2, didn't make it, that probably could have won it all.
Oh, yeah. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at, say Georgia wins the SEC. Texas gets in at number 6. They could win it all.
Sure.
Alabama, well, I don't know about Alabama. Another team in the SEC could do that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon.
The new system will be a little more forgiving to the teams that have all the talent.
Yeah.
And like this,
if they get in,
last year's Alabama team, that struggled at the beginning of the year. And then you've got a 13-0 FSU that didn't make it in, and you got the whole issue with Texas. I mean, all that would have been sorted out if they had that 12-team playoff this year. And I argue they should have. They should have thought about this ahead of time, but they didn't. With the NIL, last year proved you need the 12-team playoff because the transfer portal, the NIL stuff, the players are going where they want to go. The teams are going to be a little bit more evenly matched among the ones that have money. That's the way to say it.
The better team was Alabama 2022.
Yes.
That lost 2 games on the last plays of the game.
Yes.
Compared to this team.
Right.
That overachieved, that went 12-2.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
But Chad, why don't they just go, we're going to use a computer, this is a percentage of the computer vote counts, then we're going to use a committee and all the other criteria, and let's just get the 12 best teams. Let's just don't go by conference champs.
So you're just trying to bring in that AI, into the...
No. I'm just saying we don't need...
Why play any games if we got AI?
If you have... There's different conference... They're made different. I would hate to see a 3-loss Big 12 champ get a bye or ACC 3-loss team get a bye when you have a 11-2 Ohio State team.
Well, you could change the rule. You could say you have to have 1 or 2 losses.
Why don't you just have the 12 best teams? I don't care where you come from.
Right, yeah. But, you can implement some rules.
And 1 through 4 gets the bye, not a conference champ.
Or say you have to be undefeated to get a bye.
I just say the best. I just say that the highest ranked teams. But undefeated, what's that mean if you play a schedule like some of these teams play? So anyway, that's just my opinion. We get back, and of course you got a lot higher degree than I do. So
here we go.
You're right. We get back. Chad Mitchell's going to be talking about the Florida Gators. Before we do that, let's talk about that yard. Do we want it to look absolutely beautiful? Yeah, we do. Turpro Pest Control can make it happen for you. Give Patrick a call. They'll come out. That yard will look absolutely gorgeous. Turpro Pest Control is number 1. We have a hurricane that hit and tore up this place. We had a tornado recently hit the beach. It was really bad in different parts of the county. You got to have a great insurance company that actually will pay out. Then you got to have a great agent. I've got the best agent anywhere in Northwest Florida. I'd say anywhere in the state. Jim Dickerson, been with him almost 25 years. Give him a call, 763-4673. Jim Dickerson, State Farm. Jim Dickerson, 763-4673. The guy's incredible. Hey, we're going to go shopping. Valentine's coming up. Where are we going to go?
Time is running out, boys and girls, moms and dads. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and so is my birthday. I just had to throw that in there. You want to go to David Adamson Jewelry. It's on 830 Ohio Avenue. That's Highway 77 for those of you that live on the other side of the bridge. 624-1681. Either go and pick out a brand new piece of jewelry or take your wife's favorite piece of jewelry that she wore so many times that she broke it. Take it down there and they will fix it most of the time right while you're standing right there. They'll polish it up, make it brand new, put it in a box. You give it back to her and she said, "Oh my God, honey, how did you know that I wanted this done?" That's what she'll say.
She will.
And then it's bow, bow, bow,
she might even
bow, bow.
She'll be real thankful.
But she'll be happy.
She'll be happy.
It works. Trust me, fellas. It works.
If mama's happy.
See this smile? It works.
Yeah, everybody's happy. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for that. That was probably one of the best you've ever done. Oh, my God. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Took my brother down there. John was not there, but we got there about an hour before.
We got to talk about your brother later.
Yeah, we will. I tell you, we had a great time at Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. I've never had a pizza with pineapple on it. He had ham, pineapple on a pizza. I didn't even know they had pineapple on a pizza.
It just don't sound right. Then again, it sounds good.
He liked it. I love pineapple. He liked it. I had my pepperoni and mushroom that I like. But get on a Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. It's actually 3 restaurants in one. You got a deli that's unbelievable. And I was good. I did not have the paradise cake. But go check it out. The deli, unbelievable sandwiches, lasagna, spaghetti, you name it, they got it. The place is great. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. And a retired police officer runs it. That even makes it better. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place. This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday morning. This morning, light sprinkles and 57 with a light breeze at 7 miles per hour coming out of the north. For the afternoon and evening, some clouds with a moderate breeze and a high near 59. Tomorrow, wind 8 to 12 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 63. For Wednesday, sunshine and a high of 62. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
This Valentine's Day, your sweetie will love donuts. From Krispy Kreme Donuts, select from You Color My World, I Love You, a Chocolat, You're Berry Sweet, or how about Without You, I'd Crumble, all with special cream fillings. Donuts. For those special Valentines, this Valentine's Day at Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's good job. That's good. That's a good one. And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Chad Mitchell with us this morning. John Smitty himself, the Wildcat, behind the glass, taking care of all things.
At your beck and call.
At my beck and call. It's been pretty nice. Michigan hadn't called, hadn't texted. He must be sleeping.
Somebody called, but I was running around turning computers.
Yeah, I got a text about that. And call back. Call us back. 215-6290. I want to apologize for somebody not answering the phone. 215-6290.
He was in the hot tub.
First he's going to burn you.
It did make him wet.
I'm going to burn you over the Tennessee-Kentucky Wildcats basketball games. Oh, we ain't?
We're heading that way.
Every time he would say basketball, I'd run out of the room.
Champ, what do you got for us today on Florida Gators?
Well, you know, the news around Florida right now, or at least last night, was focusing on this former Florida offensive lineman, actually center. It was Steve Spurrier, center, and later athletic director Bill Carr. He passed away.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
The quotes are that he's the all-time great Gator. So, yeah, Bill Carr was a center for 3 seasons. And especially during the season that Steve Spurrier won the Heisman. He was an All-American offensive lineman and all SEC. He was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in 1967, but he spent 2 years in the Army and never made it to the NFL. So, he did his service there. But anyway, he was also known for pulling the Florida athletic program out of a $700,000 debt that he inherited when he became the AD. And now he did away with wrestling and volleyball to do that, but he got them back on track. And then look at what they've done since that time. So this is a...
Did it say how old he was?
Let's see if I can find that part in the article. Yeah, because I didn't know anything about him. I'm not a Florida fan, so didn't 78. He was 78 years old. 78 years old. Bill Carr, Florida Gator. Anyway, it was a cool story.
Did they mention in the article, had he been sick or just something sudden?
It didn't say. So I don't have that. There may be another article out there that may say that, but the one that I looked at didn't say that.
Yeah, did a great job as athletic director there at Florida. Everybody knows the name. I'm surprised Spurrier didn't have some quotes. I'm sure he will.
There is. Let's see. I was fortunate to see him just a couple of weeks ago, and he was battling some health issues. He told me he was prepared to go to heaven, and when the good Lord called his number, he would be ready to go. That's from Spurrier.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
But so that's probably the biggest news right now. Then let's go to women's basketball. The Lady Gators were playing number 9 LSU. LSU won 106-66.
Wow.
This was yesterday. Just to give you some of the stats, field goal percentage went to LSU at 49.3. Florida had 35.3. 3-point percentage to LSU. LSU with a 46.7% 3-point percentage. They were on fire with the 3 points, obviously. Florida had 17.4%. Turnovers, 20 for Florida, 17 for LSU. Rebounds, 59 for LSU, 34 for Florida. The Lady Gators take it on the chin, and their next game is against Arkansas on the 8th. Moving on to men's basketball, the men had a very frustrating loss. I don't know, I'm sure Florida fans watch this, but you can go back and look at the replay of the final seconds, and Florida rebounds. They're trying to shoot. They can't shoot to win the game, but they're getting all the rebounds, but they just can't put it in the basket. They had several scoring opportunities, at their own basket with the multiple rebounds. Couldn't get it done. They lose to Texas A&M 67-66. So that's why I describe it as a frustrating loss for the Florida men's basketball team. Their next game is against Auburn. Auburn is number 16, and they play February the 10th. To give you some of those stats, field goal percentage belonged to Florida at 44.6. Texas A&M was 40.7. 3-point percentage belonged to Florida, 34.5 to 26.7 from Texas A&M. Turnovers, Florida had more turnovers, except at the end of the game they had a lot of rebounds. Florida had 14 turnovers to Texas A&M's 8. And then rebounds, Florida had 36. Probably 4 of those were in those final seconds. And Texas A&M had 36 rebounds. Anyway, it gives you some of the
and Florida's actually tied at 4th when you look at the SEC conference record, 5-4.
Bottom line, Florida men's basketball, they should have won this game. I mean, they were at the basket. They rebounded, but after poor shots and just could not get it done. They should have won the ball game.
Yeah.
Texas A&M celebrating obviously because Florida couldn't.
Now this is what I'm pumped up about: SEC baseball.
SEC baseball. So all of the NCAA teams start on February 16th, just like I talked about in the previous segment with the ACC schedule, and so we've got the SEC schedule here in front of me. And since we're on the Florida update, we'll start with Florida. Florida is playing St. John's, and Florida is at home. And again, that's February 16th. That's going to be a 6:30 Eastern game. That's p.m., 6:30 p.m. To give you some of the other SEC teams, Kentucky is away against SC Upstate. LSU is at home against VMI. Georgia's at home against UNC Asheville. South Carolina is at home against Miami of Ohio. Auburn is at home against Eastern Kentucky. Arkansas is at home against James Madison. Mississippi State is at home against Air Force. Alabama is at home against Manhattan. Vanderbilt is at home against FAU. Texas A&M is at home against McNeese. Tennessee is away at Texas Tech. Missouri is away at Cal Poly. Ole Miss, get this, Ole Miss is away in Hawaii.
Ooh. Hey, Ole Miss Rebels is smart.
That's a rough gig, man. That's a rough gig.
That's your February 16th SEC baseball schedule.
Can I mention Ole Miss, something about Ole Miss?
Sure. It's your show.
Ole Miss, they're expanding their baseball stadium. They're going to spend $30 million on the baseball facilities, 400 to 500 premium seats. I think it's down third baseline. They're doing all kinds of stuff. That just shows you the power of SEC baseball. Alabama spent $55 million not too long ago.
Yeah.
Baseball makes, the TV rights should be even better what they are. People watch it now. Baseball is a growing sport, I think, in college athletics. And you see the money they're putting in. SEC baseball is second to none.
Well, now that players can be paid.
Vandy looks like they'd be a power every year, all the money those guys make.
There you go. So baseball may get cranked up. You may have, think about this. You may have some players not go to the minors. They might go from high school to the minors. They go from high school to college for sure.
I know where a lot of them are going to head down to Wednesday. They're in Lynn Haven. They're all going to head down to Beef O'Brady's and that wing special. 10 wings, drinking aside for $9.99. You can't beat that. Love Pat. Pat does a great job down there. Pat Perno also is the city commissioner of the great city of Lynn Haven. Get a Beef O'Brady's, have a great time. They have lunch specials Monday through Friday. Go check it out. A great place to go watch the Super Bowl. They're going to have a good time down there Sunday. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Whew. Also, don't forget about Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Don't put it off. Go get checked out. 5 minutes can save your life. Again, offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Dr. Ward. You can listen to him every Wednesday at 7:30 right here at ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. Alabama Crimson Tide, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Start your morning with sports updates, interviews, reactions, lively discussions, insights, and expert analysis.
I think in our lifetime, we will never see another undefeated team.
Join Evan, Canty, and Michelle weekday mornings from 5 to 7.
It will never happen again.
On the Sports Talk Monster.
If anyone deserves the benefit of the doubt for one last chance, it's Bill Belichick.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy and a high of 60 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 47. Sunny and 64 tomorrow. 63 and sunshine with a light breeze Wednesday. Thursday, some sun and a temperature about the same at 62. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
I'm in love with a man.
in love with Rudy's Tasty Oak Smoked Barbecue.
Next in line.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide roll. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevens Air Conditioning. You want to save money? You want to deal with somebody you can trust? They do incredible work. That's Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you got an old one and it's just not working like it needs to work, your house is not getting warm. Summertime doesn't get cold. Your power bill is going through the roof because all it does is run. You need to call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They are incredible. We have so many people that are in our studio that's been on our show that have gone to them and bought brand new. Chad, you've done it. That mansion you got. It's amazing. They do a great job.
Jason liked it so much he did it twice.
Yeah, I mean they're really
they do a fantastic job.
They're just good old people, good people. They really are. They're local people here taking care of locals. They do an incredible job. Jason, that group down there do a great job. You want to get it serviced about every 6 months. It helps it last longer, run better. And if it tears down for any reason, call them day or night. They'll be there for you. And they bring you the Alabama Update. This past week on the SEC basketball, the Alabama Crimson Tide puts it on Mississippi State 99-67. The Tennessee Volunteers dog whipped. They pulled their pants down on Tennessee and spanked them at home, at their house.
Now, it wasn't a shutout. It was,
it was embarrassing. It was 103-92.
Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah, that's what it was.
I tried to get out of that.
Your Wildcats got destroyed.
And it was like that right from the get-go. They got up by 8-10 points right minute one.
At home.
And they just stayed. And I mean, they fought for it. They deserved it. Tennessee, my hat's off to you. Yeah, they deserved that one. Kentucky just didn't come to play ball.
They got spanked. They got embarrassed.
They got spanked.
I don't know, man. I'm so used to Kentucky, man. They're right now, Kentucky. God, they're like, I want to say 5-4 in the SEC, 15-6 overall. And Alabama leads the SEC right now. They're number one. They're 8-1 in SEC play. Overall record, they're 16-6. At home, they're 11-1. On the road, they're 3-2. Alabama-Auburn will play, I believe it's Wednesday, in a huge basketball game at Auburn, which is hard to win at Auburn. I'm telling you that right now. Alabama, they go back to 1936 for the first AP poll into 2023, Chad Mitchell. They combined them all, and they found out who are the true 10 blue bloods of college football. Who are the super teams since 1936 when they started having these AP poll. Coming at number 10, the Tennessee Volunteers with a combined points of 715 points. Number 9, the Blue Blood. You're cheating by looking. I was going to ask you a couple questions. Now you cheated. Number 9, Penn State, Joe Paterno's team. They had 734 points. They are a Blue Blood. Number 8, Nebraska. They had 798 points. They finished number 8 all time.
Who's Nebraska?
Number back in the day, they were pretty good. Number 7, the Texas Longhorns. I kind of thought they were higher than that. Texas Longhorn has 821 points.
I would have thought they would have been higher too.
But they have really not won that many national championships compared to Alabama and other schools. Number 6, this is truly a blue blood. The Southern Cal Trojans, the coach you love so much, is over there now. One of your favorite, Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Chad, he
doesn't like me.
Yeah, Chad and him used to hang around out together, and Chad got mad at him. But Lincoln
he can't play defense.
Yeah, Southern Cal had 851 points. Now, here are your top 5 biggest, the best of the best. At number 5, with 1,048 points, total points, from 1936 to 2023, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Remember back in the they were good back in the day. They were really good. Number 4, they just won a national championship. Michigan Eddies, Michigan Wolverines are at number 4 best blue blood team in the country.
Kind of believe
1,064 points. Now, Wildcat, and only Wildcat, The top 3 biggest blue bloods in the history of college football. Who is number 3?
Just think of who he left out, John. Who's number 1, John?
2-hour show.
Kentucky.
This is the Alabama update.
I don't give a.
All right. Number 3.
Kentucky.
They just joined the SEC.
Kentucky.
The Oklahoma Booner Sooners. They are a blue blood.
Yeah, they are.
They're in the SEC. Texas is in the SEC. You got Oklahoma with 1,147 points. Now, we're down to 2. The 2 true biggest names in college football. And I will even say this.
Kentucky.
I will even say this. This team just came into Birmingham. They came into the great state of Birmingham. And they got the number 1
great
corner.
State of Birmingham?
The great city of Birmingham. And the great state of Alabama. Thank you, Chad. They they just got a commitment of a 5-star cornerback, 6'1", 180. I watched him on TV play. This is a class of 2025. The Offord's his last name is Offord. He committed to Ohio State over Alabama and over Auburn. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that NIL money is not flowing strongly out of Columbus, Ohio. They're getting players all over the damn country. They're putting together.
Yeah.
But anyway, the number 2 biggest name ever, blue blood of college football, the Ohio State Buckeyes, 1,157 points. And now, the number 1, bluest of the blue, the bluest blue state.
The bluest blue state.
Not blue state.
With blue blood.
Blue blood.
It is the blue
powerhouse.
It is the bluegrass.
Oh.
The powerhouse of college football. Always will, always has been. The University of Alabama. 1,171 points. Roll Tide. Thank you, Smitty. Why does this happen? Why is Alabama the number 1? Let's just go back in history. When's the last time Alabama won the SEC championship? 2023. How many SEC championships has Alabama won? 30. Who's in second place? Georgia with 14. Alabama has 30. How many division championships has Alabama won? 16. How many's Georgia won? 10. Let's look at Georgia, the new powerhouse of the SEC. The Georgia fans say no, you're not. You're Alabama's little brother. Alabama, last time Georgia won it was 2022. Georgia's won 14 SEC championships.
I'll be right back.
They've won 10 division championships. Who's number 3 in the SEC behind Georgia and Alabama?
Florida?
Tennessee.
Wow.
Tennessee won the SEC championship
Florida.
way back. Now, listen to this. The last time Tennessee won the SEC championship, 1998. But they have won 13 SEC championships. They've won 6 division championships. Who's number 4?
Auburn.
LSU. 2019, they won the last SEC championship.
It was a Tiger.
They won 12 SEC championships in history. They won 10 division championships. Who's number 5?
Florida.
Good job, Chad. Chad.
We're running out of teams.
Last SEC championship, the Florida Gators, 2008. They've won 8 SEC championships. Alabama's won 30. They've won 15, though. 15 Eastern Division champions, more than Georgia. Steve Spurrier, thank you. Who's next?
Auburn.
Good job, Chad Mitchell. 2013, Auburn won the last time they won the SEC championship. They've won 8 altogether. Last division championship, they've won 6. Then there's a big drop-off.
Missouri is next.
When's the last time Ole Miss has won a national SEC championship?
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Last time Ole Miss won the SEC championship.
Gosh, I can't even remember.
1963.
I wasn't born.
1963.
Holy cow.
Smitty had just graduated from college.
I wasn't born yet.
The third time.
They've won 6 SEC championships. They have never won a division championship. Kentucky. When's the last time they won an SEC championship in football?
Was the Adolph Rupp days?
When Bear Bryant was their coach?
I'm talking football.
Was it when Bear Bryant was their coach?
You're talking football?
No.
Oh.
Y'all will never get it. You'll never get it. I graduated from high school. 1976, Kentucky wins the SEC co-win. They went up with somebody else and went on by himself. They've only won 2 SEC championships. Paul Bear Bryant was one of them, and they have never won a division championship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, take that.
How's Missouri not on there? Where's Missouri?
They didn't make the top. They've won the division championship a couple times.
And they've won the SEC?
No, they have never.
Hadn't they won one?
They have never
I guess they haven't. That's right.
No,
they've been to the SEC championship game, but not one.
I'm going to come back to this tomorrow, but I do want to ask you real quick because you won't be here tomorrow. With Nick Saban, everything he's done, he got 6. He's tied with Bear Bryant at Alabama for 6 national championship. Overall, he's got one more than Bear Bryant. Nobody in college football history has more national championships than Nick Saban. Paul Bear Bryant, at one time, was the winningest coach in college football history. The name of the stadium now is Bryant-Denny Stadium. There is talk. They're going to do something. Do they change it to Bryant-Saban Stadium? Do they change it to Bryant-Denny Nick Saban Field? Or do they go Bryant-Denny Saban Stadium? I think that's too much. What will they wind up doing? What would you like? How would you like to see Coach Spurrier honored? Not Coach Spurrier. I was thinking about Spurrier.
Wait till it's Monday, can't you?
Well, I know
the one in the middle.
Hold on, Coach. Let me connect these two wires.
Well, I was thinking about what they did in Florida for Spurrier, what they did for Coach Bowden and Coach Dye.
The one in the middle rolls off the tongue the best. The
Bryant-Saban Stadium.
But Coach Denny was a good coach.
He never coached. He was
that one now.
President of the university.
Oh, the president of the university.
That hired Paul Bear Bryant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a coach. I thought he was one of the older. I'm thinking of Thomas.
I thought today was Sunday, but it's not. What do you think? What would you like? Or just keep it like it is. Hey, Nick, we got a statue. What else you want?
I would name the stadium after him. I think Bryant Saban Stadium at Denny Field.
Well, I don't think they can name it. I don't think they can do that. I would not. I don't think you say Denny Field. I think if you do something like that, it's got to be Bryant-Denny Saban Field. I don't think you take Denny.
No.
It'd be hard to take them all. But you don't want 3 names.
No.
It's Bryant-Denny Saban Stadium.
No. So what's the most popular?
I'd like to see Bryant-Denny Nick Saban Field. No, really, I wouldn't mind, like you said, I wouldn't mind Bryant-Saban Stadium and just take Denny off.
Yeah.
Well, how about Saban Stadium and Bryant-Denny Field?
There's no way Bear Bryant is going to be. Are you kidding me? You ever think they would take?
I just
you love trying to get me mad.
Listen, I riled up all my Bama buddies
Fort
just
Raptor
then.
Field.
He was trying to get me mad.
Chad Mitchell
sell
Field.
The names. There you go.
We're going to do that in Central Florida. That's
the field of Hale.
The field of Hale.
Yeah. Dang, Greg Bernicki was going to name one of them roads down there, Hale Street. They never got around to doing it.
The road to Hale comes here.
That's what we're talking about, yeah. J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Go get the best seafood, coldest beer you can get at legendary J. Michael's. For all your real estate needs, South Oak, Title Closing, Chuck Tucker's #1. Not even close. And don't you dare forget about Charlie Corn's brand new place. Go check it out. Hey, you got a kid, you got a friend, you got Chad Mitchell. We love Chad, so I think we might do this. They got a 25 seats in the back room back there. It's beautiful. You can have a birthday party down there, chamber meeting, whatever you want to do. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. Go check it out. We'll think country cooking, second to none. It's outstanding, no doubt about that. And don't forget, we talked about Stevenson, the air conditioner, a minute ago. Love them. Thank you for the Alabama update. Any kind of problem, Dave and I call Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back. Chad Mitchell, the Auburn Tigers, right here on the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Paul Samuel Hale, a veteran of Vietnam, Desert Storm. He has seen it all. He's done it all.
Baby brother. Based on my vast experience as a psychologist, I would categorize him as delusional.
We Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy and a high of 60 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 47. Sunny and 64 tomorrow. 63 and sunshine with a light breeze Wednesday. Thursday, some sun and a temperature about the same at 62. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Love is in the air at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, and what better way to celebrate love than with a beautiful piece of jewelry? Our Valentine collection combines the most popular trends and top sellers with the largest selection at the best prices. From exquisite fine jewelry to our most trendy and affordable sterling silver pieces, we're sure to have the perfect gift to melt her heart. Folks have trusted us for 50 years to make their Valentine sparkle. This year, make it sparkle even more with a gift from Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicier food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
They can only see you guys.
Hey! Sometime at 8:45, I want you to tell that story. Auburn update brought to you by Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go have a great time at Beef O'Brady's. Super Bowl Sunday, they have a lot of stuff going down there this Sunday. Great place to go watch the big ball game. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Wednesday's a big day, though, if you love chicken wings. 10 chicken wings, beautiful. Drinking aside for $9.99 at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go check it out. Just got a text here. LSU baseball paid a kid this past year $750,000 over 3 years to skip the MLB offer. $750,000 for his draft slot. Pretty cool. Baseball's big in the SEC. No doubt about it. And thank you for that.
Remember, I was alluding to that earlier.
Yes, you did. You alluded to a lot of things. Auburn. Three biggest needs for Auburn when it comes to football this coming up season, 2024. One of the big ones on the defense side of the ball, I'd say it's probably number 3, safety. You got to have a good safety. Auburn lost both their top safeties from this past season. Simpson, Puckett are gone. Auburn got Texas kid from Texas, Thompson kid. He started in 31 games at Texas. He had 3 interceptions. He had 7 pass breakups. But this is one thing I'm concerned about him. Chad, as a safety, you miss a tackle, it's 6 points for the other team, their opponents, right?
That's right. Yep.
I saw Ohio State playing Michigan the past year. The safety came up, missed a tackle. Michigan takes it to the house. It's a very important position. You cannot miss tackles. Thompson, again, started 31 games, 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, really good against the pass, but he missed 15 tackles. That's the only negative I can find about the kid. We can't miss tackles, okay? Number 2, they have to have a big-time edge rusher that can put pressure on the quarterback. If he doesn't sack the quarterback, they've got to put pressure on him, make him move around the pocket where he doesn't have a clean pocket to throw the football in. Do you remember Alabama on 4th and 31?
Yes, I do. In fact, I was on Highway 4th and 31 yesterday. It runs all the way to Auburn. All my Auburn fans, they hate me.
Anyway, thank you, Chad, for that.
It's U.S. Highway 4th and 31.
Good news, though, really, the good news is McLean's back. He's coming back. He had 38 tackles. No, he actually had 38 pressure, total 38 quarterback pressure, was pretty good. He's 6'1", about 230. Good speed, good quickness, good ball player. But we need an elite one there also. We need somebody on the other side for Auburn's defense to be where it needs to be. So we got to get the secondary. The back end's going to have to play better. We got to put pressure on the quarterback. That's really the needs right there on defense. I think the defensive front will be pretty good shape. I think the inside linebackers are going to be in pretty good shape. If we get a big-time elite pressure from both sides, it's going to really help Auburn's defense. Safeties cannot give up the big play. Come down the box, make good plays, pick off some passes, and we'll be in pretty good shape. But the number one position, I believe, and I still am not sold on Thorne yet, is not bad. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a good quarterback.
No.
He only completed 5 passes in the Iron Bowl. He only completed 5 passes against Alabama.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the kind of games you got to win at Auburn. You can't have the record. You have to have it all.
And we have to remember, these are kids, they're maturing, they're in college, they're, students, and his abilities don't fit the SEC very well. And I'm not trying to knock him, but I'm just, just being candid about it. He's going to have to do.
You got to improve
something drastic in the offseason to really rise to the level where he needs to be. I've seen one quarterback do it. I thought Joe Burrow did that.
They were concerned the quarterback position going to the bowl game, and he did play in the bowl game, but let's just say he was there at the position. They didn't play very well. Yeah. They got embarrassed in the bowl game. And remember, they said, he is our guy. And then right after the game, they asked the coach the question. He said, it's going to be wide open.
Sure.
And the reporters asked him in the locker room, did you hear what the coach said? And you could tell by his facial expressions when they told him what he said, he was shocked because he thought he definitely had the job. But you should never think you always have the job. You compete for everything.
Yeah.
But here we go. Auburn does have 6 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. Robbie Ashford is not one of them. I really was disappointed because I thought if he could ever throw the football, ever develop as a passer, he'd be unstoppable because the kid was such a great athlete.
I think he just had too much to overcome.
I guess. In high school, he was incredible. But the future of Auburn could be the White kid, Walker White, 4-star incoming freshman quarterback. He could be the true answer to Auburn's problems. I don't know. You never know. You get a freshman quarterback, you know how it works out. You don't. But hopefully he will be the answer because of all this stuff you hear about him, and they think he's going to be. But again, do they get on the field and they do it? You never know. Alabama signs all these 5-star quarterbacks. They stay a year and leave because they're not going to play. Does he wind up being one of these type of kids, or is he going to be one that goes in there, step in, takes a job, and does an incredible job for Auburn? You cannot win without a quarterback. I don't think anymore in the SEC, bringing in Texas, Oklahoma. Some teams have won championships managing the game. Alabama's done it before, but they were surrounded by elite players at every position. Auburn gets a quarterback, and these other positions we talked about, Auburn's going to be in pretty good shape. And again, we talked about it earlier, the last time Auburn won the SEC's way back in 2013. That's a long time for Auburn fans. They're ready for it to happen now. We'll see. Auburn's won 8 SEC championships. They've won 6 division championships. They've won a national championship back in, was it 2010 they won the national championship? I can't remember.
Yeah, Auburn, yeah.
Well, I don't know, it was 2010 or was it 2000?
It was 10.
It was 10, okay. So you can do it at Auburn. They got everything there. The recruiting is going outside. They're doing an incredible job of recruiting. They're getting good transfer players in there. They got a new staff. He talked about he's pumped up about the coaching staff he's brought on, the new defense coordinator, Nix, the offensive guy. So they're pumped up about, even though he's going to call plays, we will see how year 2 plays out.
Why did they even call it recruiting? They ought to call it shopping.
Shopping.
Yeah, you're about
that might be what we start calling it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Our shopping report for today.
Yeah, that was probably the number one shopper is.
That was probably one of his better quotes. I was impressed with that.
You like that?
You thought it was thorough. You thought it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Usually
you don't do those things.
I announced all the words properly.
Oh man, the pot over here is talking to the kettle.
Auburn basketball. Auburn basketball this Wednesday. It's the Iron Bowl, 6 o'clock Central Time. Auburn versus Alabama. That place will be unbelievable loud. I bet you money Elizabeth Segrist, Craig Segrist, and Steve will be at this basketball game. They always go to the big game. Thank you, Chad. That hurt. Saturday, guess what? Auburn's at Florida. That tips off at 2:30. So they got two big games there. I talked about it earlier. They had a big win on Saturday. Auburn basketball 7-2 overall in SEC, which ties them for second. Overall records 18-4. They're 11-0 at home, 3-3 on the road. Good job, Auburn Tigers. And who did they beat? I just talked about it. Auburn beat Ole Miss 91-71 this past Saturday in college basketball. So Auburn's got it rolling pretty good right there. Auburn Update's been brought to you by Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go have a great time at Beef O'Brady's, especially for the Super Bowl.
Get the onion rings.
And don't forget, the chips, onion rings. And don't forget about Wednesday, the special on Wednesday. Also, I love my agent, Jim Dickerson, does a great job. State Farm, but it's all about your agent, Jim Dickerson. Give him a call, 763-4673. Jim Dickerson, almost 25 years we've been together. 763-4673. Turf Pro Pest Control, you want the yard looking absolutely beautiful, call Pat. He'll come out and have a thing looking gorgeous for you. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, 3 restaurants and one. The best pizza you get anywhere. We absolutely had a great time there Saturday night. After we went to a movie, then we went to Paparazzi and had a great time. Go check it out. You'll love it. 3 restaurants and one. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kowaleski can make it happen for you. You try it before you buy it. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN North West Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch it in! College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rafa!
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Love is in the air at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, and do we have a sweetheart of a deal for you? All diamond heart jewelry is on sale for 25% off. All color gemstone jewelry is 60% off at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We also have a large selection of gold, silver, and estate jewelry that is sure to melt her heart. Folks have trusted us for 50 years to make their Valentine's sparkle. This year, make it sparkle even more with a sweetheart of a deal from Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Broadcasting live from the Redneck Riviera. It's the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world.
Preach it, Coach. Preach it.
Tell him.
But it wouldn't be nothing. Nothing without a woman or
Put your hands on the radio and say, yeah.
My guy's great. He's not
you
going
see, man made the car.
Yes, he did.
Man needs a football
over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load.
Is he not unbelievable? That guy's incredible, man. Unbelievable.
There's so many more. That
It's a man's word. Know your place. Know your place. Okay? No. When you're told to do something, you do it, right?
Is that why we don't have women callers?
Exactly why we don't have women. You should have seen that. I did that to him when Julie was here last night. He didn't say nothing.
He didn't say a word, I guarantee. We know Julie well, yeah.
All right, it is Black History Month, and I want to talk about someone. There's two people in our Northwest Florida, Bay County, that something needs to be named after. I hope we have some school board members listening. We usually do. One is Tommy Santamont, County AD for 23 years. Did so many things to keep things out of the press, handled so many different things. People never knew there was a problem. And then there's another one, James McAllister, the best superintendent I ever worked for. And I worked for a lot of them. Polk County. And Dr. Stewart was unbelievably good. He was incredible, John Stewart, down in Polk County. Then we had great ones in Lee County. We had McAllister, James McAllister, first African-American football head coach in Bay County, first superintendent African-American. And not only that, he was the first time ever get elected back-to-back terms in a number of years. Our school district had the highest grades, highest test scores in the 8 years he ran Bay District schools. Wow. Why was it so good? People liked him. The teachers respected him. They trusted him. He is the most honest man I've ever met. He is a great Christian man. But the great thing about him, he wasn't a politician. Most of them were politicians. He was not a politician.
I'm not familiar with him. Is he still around here?
Yeah, I think he still lives here. He is. You would not be there.
Sometimes
he was on our show. He's been on our show a lot of times.
Super nice guy.
The guy's incredible.
I didn't have very many interactions with him, but when I did, they were good.
Every
good
football banquet he showed up at, every event for the kids throughout the county, he was there for. You could call. He would meet with you. He'd call you back. I'm talking about for the people out there that didn't work for him, just the parents and stuff. The guy was unbelievable. Not vindictive one bit. Never was there anything looked into that they did for 8 years in Bay County for us, building a stadium like we had with the FBI problem with Tommy Oliver. No, we didn't have any problems when he was a superintendent, and the grades were high as they ever been. Afterwards, they fell apart. When he went out of office, our grades were some of the worst in the state right here. The guy was incredible. He hired great people. He checked everything out. He hired great people. Then he let them do their work. And if they weren't doing the work, he had to do what he had to do. The guy was one of the best I've ever seen. And I think him and Tommy deserve to have something somewhere named after them. I mean, a county AD for 23 years, a superintendent that took our grades the highest they've ever been.
Listen, Tommy wasn't just an AD. That guy was cutting the grass.
He does everything.
Cutting the grass at the what's the school district building that was downtown on Balboa. I don't know the name of it, but anyway, he was cutting the grass on weekends because they didn't have somebody to cut it.
Talking about the nut house.
Maybe that's what you call it. Anyway, but I mean, like Tommy Santamont has done so many things like that nobody sees.
He's a neat guy.
Or at least I say nobody sees. I saw it. Other people saw it. Absolutely.
Great Christian guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, Tommy has done so much
what is the
for
building?
the school system, some of which is free.
What is the name? The Nelson Building?
Yeah, I think that's what it
Nelson
is.
Building?
Yeah. That's why I couldn't,
that's how James,
come up with
that's
it.
What you knew, Mac.
Yeah.
McAllister.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. Great coach. I mean, you can't say no good
work
things.
Cut out for you. You got to do something for Tommy and that coach. And then you got to do something for Doc here for his 25 years.
We'll talk about that.
You've got your work cut out for you, son.
Hey, that other one, I already got the other one taken care of. That shows you how much power this man has.
Help me, Lord.
Just keep out of it.
I mentioned that, and they said, we got it. Don't worry. He is on top of the list. How did you get over McAllister and Santamont?
I'm not over McAllister by any means, nor do I think I am.
Yeah. Tell you what, man. He came out there with things we needed. Arnold, he got it done.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about the man.
Yeah.
He is a truly great
My
great
kids
person.
went to Bay County schools during his tenure, and very thankful for the job that he did.
All the people that would come to our banquets that met Todd, they were so impressed with the guy. He's a special man. There's no doubt about that. I do want to talk about one of my heroes, and I will say he is my hero. Apollo Creed, we all know there was an unbelievable boxer.
It's a movie.
Can I tell my story? Okay, he is not a movie. It wasn't a movie to me. Okay, it might have been a movie to you. It wasn't a movie to me. I loved him. He could dance. He could sing. He talked the talk, and he backed it up. He took Rocky. He took Rocky. He took
Rocky the distance.
But no, he wasn't serious about it. He thought Rocky was a chump. It was an easy fight, and he played around, clowned around, and it cost him. Yeah. Then I told him, I said, "No, we want to don't fight him anymore, Paul." I called him and said, "Don't fight him." And he did. Apollo was great against lefties.
He accuses me.
He's like Muhammad Ali, a lefty. Joe Frazier with that left hook gave Muhammad Ali pro. I told Muhammad, don't fight him. He didn't listen. But Apollo Creed wouldn't fought Rocky the second time, and I told him not to. Rocky knocks him out. Yeah. Let me tell you about Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers played the part. He played for Carl Weathers was a great actor.
Great actor.
I love that guy. I thought he was unbelievable.
I did too. I thought he was
played. Awesome. Now he played in the NFL. He played for the Raiders in 1970, 1971. He played for the British Columbia. Guess who one of his teammates was? You know who one of his teammates was when he played for
Doug Flutie.
No, Johnny Musso. Well, Glenn, listen. Johnny Musso was known as the Italian Stallion out of Birmingham, Alabama, when he played at Alabama. They called him Italian Stallion. Mm-hmm. They played college ball together, and Johnny is the true Italian Stallion. He played college football, I think, at San Diego State. But this guy was a great athlete, and he was really a good person. He made some movies also with Arnold. God, what was the name? Predator? Was it Predator, the name of it? I think it was called Predator. I think that was the name of it. They were down in South America somewhere, and as an alien, and Arnold.
Oh yeah, well, there was a couple of those.
Yeah, he was the a sergeant or captain or general something in one of those movies. Did a great job there. I love the guy, but he played Muhammad Ali. He really supposed to be like Muhammad Ali. He played him better than anybody. I mean, he come on the stage dancing and stuff and talking. I thought he was great, but he passed away. Sadly, he passed away. I think it was 70. I can't remember what the age was. I didn't write it down. But I saw that. Jared dressed up with him at Halloween one time. You know when he came on he was fighting the Russian. He dropped him down, and he had on the American shorts, top, hat, American hat.
Playing the song.
James Brown. Who was in the song? James Brown. Living in America. What a movie. They had all. If Elvis would have been in that movie, it would have been perfect. We had everybody in that movie I liked. Oh. That was a great movie. All those Rocky movies were good. But he made it, man. Without him, it wouldn't have been.
You think those guys are going to live forever?
I know.
Athletes that are in movies.
They will on the screen, probably.
I'm sorry I didn't write it down when he died. That made me sad when I saw that. But Jared wore that to Epcot. He's walking around, and he looked like Apollo Creed. Unbelievable. Anyway, where are we going? Oh, I want you to tell a story. We had a story for you to tell.
Have we got time here?
We'll make time.
No, we'll make
time. So, I was looking, ESPN's running this article about untold stories of Nick Saban from the coaches who worked with him, and there were a couple of funny ones. I mean, so Lane Kiffin is telling this story about Alabama having this good-on-good drill, is what they call it, where you take your good offensive players and
ones versus ones.
Yeah, ones versus ones is the way, a lot of people say it. So anyway, and, so Lane feels like I got something to prove here. And he said all the coaches have been warning him, don't you expose his defense right now. This is about building the team. It's about getting the number ones on defense and the number ones on offense to really compete well against each other. There's a mindset of bringing the team together with this. And if you don't do that, Saban's going to chew your behind. So anyway, Lane Kiffin says that, he doesn't listen to that. He's he's here to change Alabama's offense, right? So he throws in a couple of wrinkle-type plays that he knew would confuse the defensive players, right? And he says they whip this defense that's loaded with 5 stars. Saban chews him in front of everybody. Just chews him out. What are you doing? This is not the time for that, and just carries on. So anyway, comes up a couple of weeks later, and they're going to do it again, right? And so Lane says, hey, I learned my lesson. And said, the defense is just killing the offense, right? He's got the quarterback under center. He's not doing any of the usual things that he does. Says it gets to be 3rd and 8, and he puts his quarterback under center and hands the ball off. And they get stuffed, and the defense is just going nuts, right? Anyway, so they get in the coach's room afterwards, and Nick Saban's kind of chewing on Lane Kiffin.
In the coach's meeting.
In the coach's meeting, yeah. And all the coaches are there. He's like, what are you doing here? 3rd and 8, quarterback under center, running the football. Come on. I mean, what are you thinking? This is not what we're here for. And Lane said, in his smart aleck way, he says, well, Coach, I was just making sure that your defense won. And so he said the next thing that happened is Coach Saban dismissed all the other coaches except him.
Get out of the room.
He said he got the worst chewing of his career for being a smart aleck.
It almost got fired.
So anyway, he was talking about the worst he ever got it. And then I don't know if we have enough time, but
hold on.
There's another one about Kirby Smart.
Chad, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Orthopedic Associates, 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at Chad Mitchell. MD.com or also robotmd.com.
1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. If something just doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, go get it checked. There's offices throughout the panhandle in Florida. Go see Dr. Ward. Again, 5 minutes can save your life. You should do it anyway. If you're getting up there in age, go get it done about every 6 months, once a year. Don't put this stuff off. 5 minutes can save your life. It can be deadly. Dr. Ward, you listen to right here on ESPN Northwest Florida every Wednesday, 7:30. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. 3 great locations. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Look better, feel better. Jason Kovalevsky can make it happen for you. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were there Saturday for lunch. We had a blast. Julie was there, my brother. We had a wonderful time back in Lorelei Layton Room. Go check it out. Rudy's Barbecue, the best barbecue you can get for anywhere from the great state of Texas. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Chad Mitchell with us. He might have another story to tell.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
How about this story? So, fire crews found some burned remnants Tuesday of a bronze statue of Jackie Robinson that was stolen last week in Kansas at a public park. They cut it down from the ankles there. Wichita Fire Department received a call about a trash can on fire. They figured out that was pieces of the statue.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy and a high of 60 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 47. Sunny and 64 tomorrow. 63 and sunshine with a light breeze Wednesday. Thursday, some sun and a temperature about the same at 62. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0500. 0453.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Now, it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah.
I can see.
We're going to whip you today, Rocky.
I can see Apollo Creed right now.
Yeah.
That guy was good.
Getting fired up.
Woo! Do it, James.
Should have done that earlier this morning.
Look at that. That was the beginning of that fight, remember? They had him up in the sky.
Sure,
and the Russians just kind of staring.
Yeah, they're all looking around like this is like over to the top. Yeah.
That Russian was mean. That was a bad boy. I couldn't have whipped him.
He played a good part, too, that actor.
I would
Yeah.
you.
What was his name in the movie? You remember?
No,
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Drago.
Drago.
It was, Drago.
And his wife was a mean lady, too. She wasn't very nice. Russians are mean.
No. That was one of Sylvester Stallone's squeezes, ex-squeezes.
In real life. In the movie, she was a mean Russian.
Yes, she was. She played a good part.
You got to watch them Russians, man.
Those movies were all pretty good.
Well, he was taking steroids, and Apollo wasn't. He started shooting him up and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, what do you got for us?
Well, we're talking Nick
Storytelling
Saban
time.
Stories, and I'm looking at this article from ESPN.com about coaches telling stories about Nick Saban, and one of them is Kirby Smart. So Kirby Smart's a graduate assistant at FSU, and his buddy Will Muschamp is the defensive coordinator at LSU, and Nick Saban is the head coach at LSU, right? And so he gets this interview. And, he's talking to all the coaches, hadn't really got to meet Saban yet or sit down with Saban in the interview. But he was told that, if you get invited to Coach's house, then that means his wife likes you and you're likely to get the job. Right? So there's all this going on. And he said he didn't know what the reality of anything was. He said, he's just going by what he's being told. And he says, well, somewhere in the process, Lance Thompson, who was leaving.
I know Lance.
So Lance Thompson was leaving LSU, and he was going to be the UCF defensive coordinator. He's leaving for that job. Well, he tells Kirby Smart, quote, working for Nick is like dog years. Every year feels like 7.
Yeah.
So, Kirby's thinking, okay, this is what the coaches think or whatever. So he's feeling real comfortable. He's over at the coach's house or whatever. And he basically lets that slip. He goes, I don't get it. People say working here is like dog years. And he says it in front of Saban. Doesn't think anything of it. Saban doesn't say a word. He gets a call the next morning from his buddy Will Muschamp. Said, dude, you got all of us chewed out in the staff meeting. And the quote from Nick Saban, according to Will Muschamp telling Kirby Smart, is, which one of you dumbays said it's like dog years working for me? We're trying to hire the guy, and you tell him that. Nonetheless, Kirby Smart got the job. He said he doesn't know how. And everything got smoothed over. But anyway, true story from Kirby Smart.
You can get in the doghouse with them pretty easy. You're talking about Lance?
Yeah.
We went up to the first football banquet he had. Not banquet, football coaching clinic they had, and it was packed out. Well, Lance was there.
Uh-huh.
And he was coaching with Nick, I think it was 2007.
Yeah.
And he was PO'd at Nick. and Nick was peeling to him, and you could tell.
Oh, really?
And he goes, "Yeah, I've got my butt chewed out." And he was in a bad mood. Anyway, I'm not getting into all of it, but it was just funny.
Yeah.
And then I said, "No wonder he left." Because he worked for him several different times.
Right, but he's the one that said it's like working for. It's like dog years. Yeah.
I mean, he's a workaholic, man. They never got off. I mean, it was. But you know what? He was there right there with them.
Yeah,
I mean, he worked just as hard as any of them. Yeah. But anyway, that's some.
Working.
Did they have any other more stories about him and Kirby? Kirby, like a little kid.
I'm sure there are some more. I'll dig for some more.
There was a picture of Nick and Kirby walking outside the stadium at
LSU.
LSU. Yeah. And Kirby looks like a skinny little kid.
Well, look at Saban. He's a skinny young guy as well. Yeah. I mean, you know. And so, Kirby's he's just left FSU as a graduate assistant, and that's it. And he's taking notes. They're walking outside the stadium, and Nick's talking. He's taking notes.
What happens 209 days from today?
Start of college football?
Yes. Well, no, actually, they'll have some started before then, week 0. But actually, since you brought up Alabama's first game with a new coach is 209 days away. Can we make it? Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not pumped up like that anymore. Nick not being there. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna be very.
Are you kidding? I mean, it's a new era. I mean, DeBoer's a good coach. I'm gonna be loyal. You talk about loyalty all the time. I mean, my coach is left.
I'm just
but
not
listen,
excited.
I haven't gotten a portal. Now, unless, since we're on the radio, I mean, if there's some FSU fans that want to offer me a lot of money to be an FSU fan, maybe I'll consider it.
I'll take a little money.
Don't trust him. He's Central Florida is what he is.
I'm using the portal and the NIL deal. I mean, hey, what's wrong with that?
I'm just not as pumped up about it. I'm just being fair and balanced. I'm not pumped up about it. It's kind of like when Bear Bryant left. But no, not like that. What's getting me is this transfer in and out and demanding
there
money.
Needs to be a limit.
I just see
it's
college
constant
football,
free agency.
Listen, college football made men. You hear me? They made men. The coaches were in charge, and they were like gods. And now the players in charge. I don't want to do that when I work out. I transfer somewhere else. They got to keep kissing your butt to keep you there. That's not going to make you do well in life.
Yeah, well, the teams that have those players, though, are not going to do that well. The work ethics
I learned in college, to never give up, never quit, going through the winter workouts, doing all that stuff, and that was at Southern Mississippi. And then I heard stories what they did with Bear Bryant did with his players. I almost kill those guys. They used, over 2 weeks of two-a-days and full pads and stuff. The rules they have now has just changed. And they brainwash you to believe you could do anything. You didn't fear anyone. You could do anything. I think those days are over. We're just a weak society compared to what we used to. I'm telling you the truth. We are weaker now than we've ever been, especially you.
Is he talking to you, John? I hope he's not talking to me.
I'm feeling a little weak.
Who am I looking at?
Unless I got a birthday coming.
Well, the people on the radio can't tell who you're looking at.
I don't put me on Facebook or none of that other stuff either.
No, I'm just messing with you. You are the man. Without you,
I know I'm the wind beneath your wings.
You lift me every day in a lot of different ways. Anyway, how much time we got?
Too much. Way too much.
Too much time. Ron Mulvey's got a great show lined up. He will be back today. Right. He will be back today, 11 to 1. I think him and Jay are going to be in here. Everything's been really good. He's coaching. He's on the road. He's working hard.
Should be an interesting show.
Yeah, he'll be on the show.
I'll be listening.
And then David will have I think David's there too also, but David will do the Underdogs this afternoon from 4 to 6. I think Brian comes on with him today. And then we got Feinbaum from 6 o'clock to about 10.
Something like that.
6 to 9, 6 to 10, whatever it is.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah, all you got to do is leave it right here on ESPN Northwest. Chad, you going to be out for a while?
Yeah. I'm not going to be here the next 2 Mondays. So
now Chad is he's going to be running a clinic.
Chad's getting like you.
Chad's all over the country. What do you say? Do you go speak and give seminars and stuff?
No, I'm not. doing any speaking, but I go attend
like clinics,
courses and that kind of thing, and look at the new technology and all. The American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
You always learn.
Annual meetings coming up. That's where I'm headed.
Always learning.
Got to.
That's the reason people go to you.
Yeah.
All right. Celebrate bye.
This ends the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hale Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be dead.